So welcome to the last Sustainability Network meeting of this academic year. If I could just ask people, if they're not talking, just put themselves on mute so we don't have any sort of strange feedback or echoes, that would be great. We've got this afternoon some information from Graveney. Unfortunately, Ed, the deputy head, was unable to make it, but he's given some information that we're going to share. And if we've got other schools on the call, which I know we have, if they'd like to share anything they're doing as well, it'd be great. It's always good to hear from our schools. We have good news for those people who are interested in microgrants. Funding available for projects, and we've got microgrants for both the London Borough of Culture and Climate Action, which schools may wish to apply for. And in fact, I don't see any reason, if you're creative, why you couldn't combine the two of those. I'm sure my colleagues will tell me if that's possible, but I'm pretty sure it is. If it's not possible, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then we've got some information from Dan on climate and air quality workshops and some of the, again, offers that are available to schools. So without further ado, I'll get us started by handing over to Georgina. Are you going to take us through the information that Ed has provided for us?
Yes, I can do that, as long as I'm not creating feedback. Brilliant. Good afternoon, everybody. So as Andy mentioned, so Graveney held their Environment Week a couple of weeks ago. It was a fantastic success. He was very much looking forward to being here and talking all about it today, but is unfortunately unwell. So he's very kindly provided a couple of bullet points for us to talk through. If you could kindly go to the, thank you. So Environment Week, I think it's the second time that they have championed this within their school. And the aim is to ensure that the environmental issues are addressed throughout the curriculum, but they cast the net out wide in terms of inviting in lots of external speakers, including one of the councillors from Wandsworth Council, Councillor Gasser, and the head of climate and sustainability, Andrew Hough from our team, who went in to speak to year 8s and year 12s all about careers in sustainability, what it's like working in local government, the challenges, the pitfalls, and they had an interactive session and answered all sorts of questions from some brilliant, eager pupils. And Ed was keen to say it was probably the highlight of the week for many, as they got to see the range of careers open to them and the possibilities for life beyond school. They also had bike workshops. They had a whole school assembly, which I think was quite a new thing for them. They had form time activities and whole school staff training around eco-anxiety and addressing climate change in the classroom. So Ed is very keen to come and speak at the next one of these termly forums. He'll be much better at answering questions on the activity than I am. And I'm sure if anyone is keen to get in touch and ask questions, then he would absolutely be very happy to do so. So yeah, but I mean, fantastic, brilliant, well done, Graveney. It's brilliant to be supporting them on their work. And I'm sure that Ed will happily speak at our next termly forum in greater detail.
Thanks, Georgina. And interestingly, we had a sixth form conference this morning, and we had a colleague from South Thames College who was going through some of the courses that are particularly suitable with emphasis on sustainability. And you know, there's some well-paid job opportunities that are emerging in the climate change and sustainability sector. So if there are any, I think all but 3 of our secondary schools were there, but if you'd be interested in that information, get in touch with me and I'll happily pass on those slides. No, thank you. And it's interesting, isn't it, in terms of what Graveney have done there. And it occurs to me that perhaps if you were to apply for a microgrant, possibly to help you run your own environmental week, that might be something worth considering for schools. So and thank you, and congratulations to Graveney for that initiative, which is fantastic. I know they've really been pushing involvement in the sustainability arena, and indeed were one of the big movers behind the mock pop, which took place recently. So it's always great to hear from our schools and some of the things that are going on. And I know we've got another, we have got some other schools on the call, and I really don't want to pick on anyone, but I do see some names that I could call out. Is there anyone else from other schools who'd like to just mention a little bit about some of the work that they or their pupils are undertaking, or any initiatives which have been particularly successful? I've got a tumbleweed moment, so I'm I'm not going to pick on anyone, because I that would be unfair. But Abby.
I could just mention about the food waste thing. I don't know if that comes under climate change and sustainability.
It absolutely does.
So we just started with that with our food waste bins. We've got a big one outside, and we've got a couple inside in strategic positions across the school. And we're lucky to have a member of staff who's been here for a long time, who's really into sustainability and supporting sustainability initiatives, and she's taken that on. I sort of feel like you need one member of staff taking on, because you've got to empty them in a specific spot. But I really think it has reduced the food waste, and that children are much more aware of what they're throwing away. So just wanted to sort of shout out about the food waste initiatives that are going on in Wandsworth.
No, that's great. No, thank you, Abby. Have you had any sort of feedback from young people themselves as well about those being introduced?
Yeah, they're really saying it's quite difficult to train yourself to not just throw it in the ordinary bin. And it's often just that once you get into the habit of putting it somewhere else, then your app banana peel or whatever, that's half of it is habit. And also that they just don't think about it, and it's made them start thinking about it. So that's some of the feedback I've had from a couple of kids. The only thing is the bins that we've been given for the outside, which are plastic and have a lid, are not squirrel proof, and squirrels who come into the playground the minute it empties out in the morning, once they've all gone into class, are actually eating the plastic bins to get inside them. There's little claw and teeth marks where they're chewing away at this kind of plastic lid. So it's a bit alarming, but that was all. That's all. Yeah, and it just takes a bit of time to bed in, but I feel like it's really getting there now.
Yeah, thank you. So maybe a bit of feedback to our food waste team about squirrel proofing the bins would be good. Thanks, Joe. I saw you nodding there. Did you have the same setup at Honeywell?
Yes, and it's given us an opportunity to do some work, into school work, because it's in the same building. So Eco Warriors are supporting the infants in making sure, and actually the bin that gets the most food in it every day is the one we put in the staff room. So that's quite interesting as well. But certainly a lot is going in there, and our next step, because we did the assemblies round at both schools, delivered assemblies, the Eco Warriors helped deliver those assemblies, and I think our next step is to say, well, we're doing this now and it's really good, but how can we reduce it? So I think they're talking around before you take all this, are you going to eat it all? And what else can we do? And persuading the kitchen. And today's not the day, because I did say to the children today, what do you think the hardest job in school is today? And they identified it as the people in the kitchen cooking the food, because it is awful. But cutting down on some of the side stuff, like plastic and containers for this and containers for that. So that's what the Eco Warriors are going to think about for next year.
Great, thank you. No, thank you both for sharing that with us. And I think it's interesting looking at what Graveney have set up in terms of their Eco Week. Again, the opportunities that are there for our team in Wandsworth to support schools in terms of either signposting to external speakers or indeed running some of the workshops themselves. So please do get in touch with Georgina or myself, and I'm sure we can provide advice on that. Okay, thank you. Anything else from school colleagues before we move on? No. Okay. We just check. Okay, so on to, yes, so always popular with schools, free money. It's not quite free money. There are obviously strings attached, but so 2 microgrants to tell you about. Firstly, the London Borough of Culture, and then we'll talk about the climate ones as well. So have we got Henny on the call?
Yes, hi, I'm Henny. I'm the Schools Engagement Officer for London Borough of Culture, and looking after the microgrants scheme as part of London Borough of Culture. And actually it's great Abby Brady is here because Ronald Ross have already had their microgrant and used it and done the evaluation form. So we've got someone who represents the full cycle of being awarded the funding and delivering a project. So that's great. Yeah, so during the London Borough of Culture year, microgrants of up to £750 are available for all non-fee paying schools in Wandsworth, including SEN, primary, secondary and the PRU. And this is, schools can apply once. Well, they can be successfully awarded once. So if you apply for one that isn't successful, you can apply again. But the key information is that applications can be submitted anytime up to the 1st of February 2026. An activity has to take place during the London Borough of Culture year, which runs until the end of March next year. And applications are reviewed by the panel, which includes me and Andy, and then my colleague Catherine as well, every 2 weeks during term time. And this is for Wandsworth schools only. I don't know whether we've got any Richmond schools on the call, or who might sort of look at this as well, but this is a Wandsworth initiative. And the main thing is we would like to celebrate creativity in your school, whether that is through an art project, a dance project, multiple art forms, creative writing, poetry. Really, we're keen to hear from you. The idea is that it's a very flexible scheme so that you can deliver a project in your school that sort of meets your creative targets and sort of maybe deliver something that you wouldn't be able to deliver otherwise. And as Andy mentioned, there is also, you're about to hear about microgrants through the climate team, and it's definitely possible and encouraged if you would like to combine the two to be awarded a bigger pot of money to deliver something that engages both the London Borough of Culture themes of creativity, celebrating the arts and heritage, as well as climate. And as an arts team in the Wandsworth Council, we have delivered creative projects that do support climate messaging in the past. So if you're keen to have a conversation with us about what this could look like, to combine the two, then do reach out, get in touch with us. I think my contact details were on the previous slide, and the QR code on this slide takes you to the web page on the Welcome to Wandsworth website about microgrants, where you can look at the application form. It's a very simple process. We just want to hear in a few words what your project involves, how it will sort of embed creativity in the school and celebrate arts and heritage, and what the kind of project outcome will be that we can celebrate, and then a small budget as well. I think I've covered everything. Andy, is there anything you want to add? I don't know whether at this stage, I mean, they're rolling in the applications and it's lovely to see them. Yeah, this slide, I forgot I'd given you this slide, is an example of some of the work, and you can see Ronald Ross there with their VE celebration day. It's a lovely photo. I think that was, Abby, I think that was one of the dances that one of the year groups did. And then St Anselm's had a creativity week to celebrate the launch of the London Borough of Culture year, and that involved some dancing, some artwork. They had sort of a fete in their playground right at the start of the year, which was lovely. And then for any secondary schools, this is also for you. Graveney School had a literary workshop with alumni of their school to encourage Year 10, particularly boys in Year 10, to continue with their creative writing, and they're going to put together an anthology of their original works later on this term. So that's just a small taste of what you can do, but actually we're really open to your ideas and happy to support if you're not sure what you want to do but would like to do something. So yeah, that's it.
The only thing I would add, Henny, is that the application process really is not onerous. It is a very simple form, and so do have a look. It really is not a massive administrative task. So as long as you've got your idea, it's easy to do. It really is. Abby?
I was just going to say that, Andy. It was really quick, and actually we knew we were going to do something for VE Day that was really celebrating the diversity of our community, and it just fit it ticked all the boxes, you know. So it's really been, yeah, and it's not hard, and it's great. It paid for all our dance workshops.
Right. So there you go. And as I say, if you combine, so £750, you combine it with potentially a £500 microgrant for from the climate and sustainability team. That's a significant chunk of money. So thank you, Henny. Just before we go on to the other microgrant, the other thing I wanted just to flag up, which it did go out in Lisa's comms to heads, but if you didn't pick up on it, is we're inviting all schools to enter the tallest sunflower category. And again, very, very easy, because we'll post the sunflower seeds out to you. And then it's part of the Wandsworth in Bloom. So you can grow the tallest sunflower. If you go onto the Wandsworth corporate site, the www.wandsworth.gov.uk, and just put in Wandsworth in Bloom, you can find details there. Or alternatively, if you can find Lisa's email, there is a link there also. Okay.
Andy, just quickly on that, do you know if the deadline's been extended? Because I thought the deadline to apply was yesterday, but
I reckon if you applied today, then
quick, get your sunflower
you've been
seeds
in this meeting, and that you were advised to quickly get an entry in. I'm sure we could. Make allowances.
So I think I think it did say yesterday, but I'm sure if there's a surge in interest for sunflower seeds across schools in Wandsworth, then they might extend it. Be lovely to have lots of sunflowers.
I think I saw that it has been extended to the 14th of July.
Oh, great. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, I was just going to say on the deadline for sunflowers that we've extended submissions to the 14th, but obviously given the growing time of sunflowers, we're not going to be judging them until we'll give you a good run at it. So we'll probably look, once you've received it, you'll get about 8 weeks to actually cultivate something. So we're not going to be coming around and judging it in August, and you've got something that's this big or barely a sunflower at all. Will be fair, of course.
Good. So as long as you've got a premises officer who can come in and give it a bit of water over the summer. Okay, fantastic. All right, so then on to our climate action microgrants. Emily.
Thanks, Andy. If you could just go on to the next slide, please, Ali. So we're offering climate microgrants for schools between £100 and £500, and these are projects that support sustainable behaviours and help schools learn about climate action. So these can include things that engage and teach schools about the environment, reduce emissions on an individual or school-wide level, reduce pollution, improve air quality, encourage sustainable behaviour change and skills such as repair, upcycling, energy saving at home and other related areas, improve or encourage biodiversity or natural conservation, help people and nature adapt to climate change and reduce how many new items we buy and use. And here we have a few examples of schools that have been awarded microgrants last year. I've included a Richmond example as well, because we actually haven't awarded that many schools microgrants, because this year is the first year that we have a separate schools microgrant programme from the main microgrant programme, which is great news for schools. So we can see that Beatrix Potter School had planters from the microgrant programme. Mosaic Jewish Primary had a mud kitchen, and in Richmond we had litter picking and a bug hotel. So yeah, these are just a few ideas of initiatives that you could do in your school, and the next application deadline is the 24th of October. But if you have any questions or want to run anything past me, feel free to email me. Yeah, my email was on the previous slide, but I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. And I believe I'm right in saying that similar to the Borough of Culture, it's not a hugely administrative task to apply for these, is it? It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it is quite straightforward. I would just say the most successful applicants have given more of a breakdown in costs. So
Yeah.
if you can specify what you'd like to spend the money on, and really emphasize the impact that the money will have on your school, that would be great.
Right. Okay. No, thank you. All right. So plenty of opportunity to apply for microgrants. Okay. So am I right? We've got Dan to talk about what the air quality team can do.
Yeah, super. Thanks, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi all. I'm Dan Baker, an air quality officer for Wandsworth Council, and the air quality team are wishing to work with schools in the borough. So I'd like to share some of the services that we can offer to schools for free. So first off, we have our air quality assessment. So that's open to all primary and secondary schools, and it supports schools in identifying ways to improve air quality on and around the school site. So the air quality team, they'll conduct a free air quality assessment at your school on a mutually convenient morning, ideally. And the assessment involves measuring air quality within classrooms and reviewing relevant facilities such as heating, ventilation and kitchen infrastructure. And that is all observational. So we'll take some pictures, we'll go away, do some desktop research, and then we'll make some recommendations. So we'll look at like eco-friendliness and efficiency. The air quality officers will then observe the school drop-off or pick-up routines to see how the school community are travelling to and from school. Then we have a brief feedback session. It's approximately 30 minutes with a school staff member to discuss air quality concerns and gain a feel for what occurs daily, such as the number of deliveries to the school, any trends that you've noticed in how the school community travel to school. And then following the assessment, the air quality team will provide a detailed report outlining findings and recommendations. And the report will remain confidential. So yeah, it's ultimately up to each school whether you wish to publish the reports on their own media channels. And so far, out of all the assessments we've done, we haven't found anything alarming at all. So it's well worth school shouting about it if you have had an assessment, because yeah, there were no concerns. Super. Next slide, please. So next free activity we offer is our idling action event. Again, that's open to primary and secondary schools. And these events help reduce localised air pollution caused by motorists leaving their engines running when stationary. So if schools have noticed areas around the school where there's idling and where there is an issue, then the air quality officers can visit those locations. We can engage with the drivers of idling vehicles and encourage them to switch off. But we're always looking for help with the idling events, and student volunteers in past events, they've been really successful in educating the public about idling and persuading the drivers to turn off their engines. So like I say, officers can run the event alone, but if schools would prefer that, that's absolutely fine, we'll do that, but we're always happy to accommodate student volunteers. So yeah, and they'll be given a safety briefing, a few scripted lines to say to the drivers before heading outside with our blue high-vis vests and our leaflets. And then finally, we have our air pollution workshops. So this is an interactive workshop designed for primary schools about air pollution, which involves a 40-minute presentation delivered by the air quality officers, and then there's an activity session that follows that. The officers give a general overview of air pollution, such as what pollutants are in the air, how to tackle air pollution, how to reduce exposure to air pollution, and then we look at natural and human-made sources of air pollution, followed by a section on idling. Students then have a short activity following that presentation that can be done on the day, or it can be completed another time. And the activity is usually a poster, poem or short story relating to air pollution. And they've proved to be quite successful this year. They link in quite nicely with some of the topics that are taught in school. So yeah, if you'd like any of these free services, then please do get in touch. And on the next slide, we have our contact details. So you might notice that it's a Merton address. So the air quality team, they actually work across 3 boroughs. We work across Richmond, Wandsworth and Merton. But yeah, this offer is for Wandsworth schools. Super. And then the next slide, please. Okay, so the climate change team and the air quality team, we have partnered with MP Smarter Travel. They're a sustainable transport consultancy, and they address things like air quality, and they promote active travel. And they'll be delivering some workshops. First, they'll be delivering them to expectant parents and parents carers of under 5s to raise awareness of the impact of air pollution and climate change on pregnancy and children's health. The next workshops for those are taking place on Tuesday the 29th of July, 10:30 to 11:30 at Battersea Park Library, and then on Wednesday the 20th of August, 2:30 to 3:30 at the Rose Club Room in Battersea. So if you're interested or you know of people that are interested, then please just scan the QR code and you can register your interest. If you'd like some digital flyers to promote the events at your schools as well, then please contact Charlotte Ridley Rundle, and her email address is there. So Charlotte works at MP Smarter Travel. MP Smart Travel, they're also delivering secondary school air quality and climate change awareness raising workshops. So the project is currently aimed at state secondary schools in Wandsworth. So far, Ark Putney, Bolingbroke, Harris Academy and Southfields have signed up to the project. So we're still looking to involve the other state secondary schools in Wandsworth. So again, please do get in touch if you'd like to be a part of that project. If there are any secondary independent schools on the call that wish to have workshops, then please contact the pollution at merton.gov.uk email address, as the air quality team can adapt our workshops and deliver those as well. Okay, so, and I think that is about it. So thank you.
Sorry, muted. Dan, I'll give your details also to the early years team, because those workshops for the under fives would be useful for them, maybe just to liaise with you and think about how we can raise awareness of that as well. So thank you.
Super, brilliant, thank you.
Okay, so let's go zero. So we have who's presenting on this?
Hello. Hi.
Okay. Hi.
Hello. Shall I just start? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me to this meeting today. I am Luciana. I am part of the Let's Go Zero campaign. This is a campaign to unite schools to be zero carbon by 2030. We've been running this campaign for a few years now, and we ask schools to sign up to the campaign, to add their voice to demand government for more support for sustainability and climate action in schools. So the QR code there is for you to sign up for the campaign. More recently, we've started a climate action advice support, which is a one-to-one support for schools to help writing your climate action plan. So you might be aware of the requirement from the DFE for all schools to have a climate action plan in place by 2025, and also to appoint a sustainability lead. So we are a charity and we provide free support for schools to fulfill that requirement. We help schools to write your climate action plan, think about all the areas that should be included in a climate action plan. So decarbonization. In this slide, you can see some of the areas that we cover. So we look at energy, transport, waste, nature, food, and the curriculum as well. We work with schools of all sizes and all stages. So we help primary and secondary and even nurseries as well. Our support is delivered sometimes online, but we also have capacity to visit schools. And when we visit schools, we provide a sustainability audit. So we go through all these areas to find out where your school is in this journey, and find out some initiatives that you can get involved. When we help you to write your climate action plan, we also signpost to all the resources available, like the microgrant schemes that were mentioned here today. So we keep in touch and up to date with what the local offer is for schools. And we've got advisors working across London and England, actually. So we are 32 advisors. So the name of the campaign is Let's Go Zero. If you go through our website, you can see the link there. I will post on the chat as well the link to sign up for climate advice support. So it's, like I said, it's completely free, and we can help you to write your climate action plan and also signpost to resources that will help you to deliver sustainability in your schools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, it sounds like a fantastic offer, because I think I'm right in saying that all schools are required to have a climate action plan in place by September 2025. And of course, that's not a million miles away. So again, what a great opportunity to take advantage of some free expertise and input. So do please get in touch with colleagues if you want to take advantage of that. Okay. I think that is all of our specific items on the agenda that we have today. And any questions anybody has for any of the speakers? Otherwise, I will move us on to any other business. Okay, any other business? Ella?
Hi, sorry, Sam and I just put our hands up at the same time.
Oh,
So we're currently developing a new biodiversity action plan for Wandsworth, based to kind of help achieve the aims for the biodiversity strategy that was adopted in 2020. And we are going to be running some engagement sessions imminently. I don't know, Sam, if we're any clearer on the start date of the actual engagement. We're going to be having an online survey. Basically, we want a chance to kind of talk to people working and living in Wandsworth who about the spaces that they feel most connected with nature, and maybe any spaces they feel could be improved for nature. And as part of the engagement, we are planning to do some mapping sessions to find out more information about how people access nature in the borough. So be really keen to engage with the schools and hear from students and staff about places in Wandsworth more generally, or maybe even on school sites, projects going on to improve those for nature too. I don't know if you want to add anything, Sam.
Yeah, thanks, Ella. I think we'll be running some in-person engagement sessions as well, probably geographically around the borough, so hopefully an even proportion of people can get to them. But I think critically, as part of this, it would be really good to engage directly with schools as part of this programme that we're running too. So for any schools that are on the call that are keen to either host or attend an engagement session or workshop, we'd be really pleased to hear from you, so we can start setting something up, and we can, it will follow on quite nicely probably from Councillor Gass's work at Graveney and trying to promote a bit of interest in green industries from a young age, and sort of start taking a bit of ownership and interest in the areas that they're growing up in.
Thanks, Simon. I'm presuming, I mean, that would work quite well as either as a workshop or even possibly as an assembly. Would that be fair to say in a school?
Yes, either or. If it's a workshop or assembly, would absolutely be fine. We're trying to make it very engaging, so we've got a few materials that we'll use, and we can try and map and really understand how what children perceive to be as a biodiverse area in their locality, essentially.
Right. No, and again, it sounds like a really great opportunity. So, school colleagues, so many really fantastic opportunities, which appear to cost absolutely nothing as well, which is what I'm always just gobsmacked by, to use that term. So, thank you very much, colleagues, for those offers. Any other business? Okay, so sorry, Joe, were you talking? I heard you seem to be talking, but that maybe to someone internally rather than to us, but you were muted. I assume that wasn't to us, but I thought I'd better just check. Okay, colleagues, do please, head teachers are either watching now or in the recording. If you want your other staff to watch it, do please pass it on. This will be posted on S4S. I know a number of people access it via there. And if you have designated eco leads in the school, again, do please put them in touch with us and we can add them to our mailing list so they will get the invite directly. So it just, unless there are any other points that anyone wants to raise, it just leaves me to give you 6 minutes back of your day and to say thank you so much. And thank you for attending and thank you for sharing the information that you have. It's great.